Let's be honest. How many of you went to bed at 10 p.m., but you didn't actually sleep until 1:30 a.m. because you were just checking one more thing, one more TikTok, one more YouTube short, one more group chat message that could not wait. And now it's morning, your alarm goes off, you're exhausted, you're cranky, and you're wondering why your brain feels like you're buffering on 2% Wi-Fi. Welcome to the Gracefully Growing podcast, where we provide you with real talk, real growth, and real life tools to help you thrive in school and in life. I am Dr. Kimmy, educator, author, speaker, gratitude advocate, and mom to the most amazing 13-year-old sunshine. I am so excited that each week you continue to show up as we explore the 5 key principles that will guide you to a fulfilling life. And these 5 key principles are gratitude, reflection, affirmation, connection, as well as empathy. Each week, I remind you that you need to take notes. So if you're ready, go grab your notebook. If you don't have a notebook, grab your journal. If you don't have a journal, open the Notes app on your phone so you can take notes. If you're looking for an excellent journal to help you on this journey, I have written or have authored the Affirmation Gratitude Journal that is available on Amazon for purchase. And I'll be sure to post the link in the show notes for you. Also, if this is your first time here, each week I break down how to live life with intentionality using the GRACE framework. I also need your help. Help me get to my first 1,000 subscribers by making sure that you click that subscribe button. Be sure to turn on your notification bell so that you do not miss an episode. I drop new episodes every Monday. Let's get into it. Today we're talking about the real truth about screens and sleep. Not the boring turn off your phone lecture, but what's actually happening in your brain and how we fix it with the GRACE framework. Let's be clear about something. Your screens aren't evil, but screen plus nighttime plus zero boundaries equal sleep sabotage. Here are 3 things that are going on behind the scenes. The first thing is the blue light versus your brain. Your phone, your tablet, and laptop all give off blue light, which tells your brain, hey, it's daytime, stay awake. But your brain needs darkness to release a biological chemical called melatonin. Some people call them hormones. This is the hormone or the chemical that says it's safe to power down now. So when you're scrolling at night, your brain is confused. Like, what? Are we sleeping or are we surviving? The second thing that could be going on behind the scenes is endless content equals endless stimulation. Apps are literally designed to keep you scrolling. Ask me how I know. There's no natural stopping point. Your brain stays alert, excited, and emotionally triggered, which makes it harder for you to calm down and get sleep. The third thing that could be happening is this. Sleep loss hits harder than you think. Lack of sleep would affect your focus and your memory, mood and your emotional control, your motivation, your grades, anxiety, and stress levels. All of this translates to you sleep deprived. Now, let's walk through everything we just talked about gracefully, not perfectly. We're going to use the GRACE framework to fix your sleep, starting with gratitude. Gratitude reminds you to thank your body even if it is tired. Because before we can fix anything, before we make a plan, Before we swear we're never touching our phones again at night, let us pause. Take a breath, because here's the truth. Your body ain't broken. Your brain isn't failing you. You are not bad at sleep. Your body is actually doing exactly what it is designed to do. Respond to signals that you give it. So when you stay up scrolling, your brain isn't being dramatic. It's saying, oh, we're still alert. Cool, I'll stay on guard. When you feel exhausted the next day, your body isn't punishing you, it's communicating. And gratitude means we listen instead of fighting it. So that would sound like this. Thank you, brain, for trying to keep me entertained, connected, and safe. Thank you, body, for letting me know I need to rest. Thank you for still showing up for me, even when I didn't show up for you last night. Because blaming your body creates stress, and stress tells your nervous system, stay awake. But appreciation does the opposite. It sends the message, you are safe, you're allowed to rest now. Most people don't realize this. Your nervous system doesn't care how badly you want to sleep. It cares whether you feel safe enough to sleep. That means when you're frustrated, tossing, turning, checking the clock, thinking, why can't I sleep? Your brain hears danger. But when you shift to gratitude, even quietly, even awkwardly, your body relaxes that grip. So I want you to try it tonight. Seriously, just try it. Oh, I want you to try this. I want you to try this tonight. Seriously, try this tonight. Place a hand on your chest or your stomach and say the following. Thank you for getting me through the day. Thank you for carrying me, even when I pushed you too hard. I'm listening now. I know it sounds cheesy. That's okay. Your nervous system does not care about cool, it cares about calm. Here's a reminder that you didn't think you needed. You don't earn rest by being exhausted enough. So let me remind you about that. You don't earn rest by being exhausted enough. You do not have to deserve sleep. Sleep starts with safety. Safety starts with you being kind to yourself. And kindness starts with gratitude. Okay? Now that we slow things down with gratitude, let's get curious. Not critical, not harsh, curious. Reflection isn't about pointing fingers at yourself and saying, wow, I'm terrible at this. It's about noticing what's actually happening. Because awareness gives you options, and we want options. So I want you to ask yourself these questions. What time do I usually grab my phone at night? What apps do I open without thinking? For me, that would be Instagram. How does my body feel the next morning? Foggy, anxious, rushed, irritated? Because the one thing no one tells you is this: your nighttime habits are often emotional, not logical. You're not scrolling because you don't care about sleep. You're scrolling because you are decompressing. You're avoiding tomorrow. You want distraction. You want connection. You don't want your day to end yet. And that makes sense. So, for example, you finish your homework, you finally sit down and think, this is my time. So you scroll. Not because you're irresponsible, but because it's the first time all day that belonged to you. So your reflection sounds like, oh, this is when I'm overstimulated. This is when I avoid being alone with my thoughts. This is when I don't want silence yet. And once you see the pattern, you can change the support, not just the habit, because you can't fix sleep without understanding what sleep is replacing. Talk about the conversations that you have with yourself at night. Affirmation reminds you to change the nighttime story in your head because it matters more than you think. A lot of teens go to bed thinking, I should be asleep already. I'm behind. Tomorrow is going to be awful. I messed this up again. And your brain hears pressure. Pressure does not invite sleep. Pressure keeps your nervous system alert. Affirmations aren't fake positivity. They sound like they're intentional messages to your brain. They sound like rest helps me reset. It's okay to unplug. I don't have to be available to be valued. Tomorrow can wait. Right now, I rest. Say them softly. Say them internally. Say them even if you don't fully believe them yet, because repetition rewires your brain. I want you to think of affirmations like changing the playlist in your brain from hype music to low music to soft music. And here's a powerful one for nighttime. I did enough today. Not everything, not perfect. And enough is more than enough to rest. Connections reminds us to set boundaries that actually support you. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Here's the thing. Sleep isn't just about what you turn off. It's about what you stay connected to as well. And sometimes that means disconnecting from things that overstimulate you so you can reconnect with yourself. So connection might look like charging your phone across the room, letting friends know you log off at a certain time. When I was much younger, I used to tell my friends I don't accept phone calls after 10 o'clock at night. Creating a nighttime routine your brain recognizes as safe. The truth is this: boundaries aren't about control, they're about care. When you set a boundary like, I don't scroll past 10:30, you're saying my future self matters. And yes, sometimes you'll feel FOMO. That is fear of missing out. Sometimes you worry you missed something. But let me tell you what you're gaining when you remind yourself that your future self matters. You're gaining a clearer mind, a better mood, more patience, more energy, and better focus. I think that's a fair trade, don't you? Connection also means you build wind down rituals such as stretching, music, reading, journaling, prayer, or meditation. The thing about the brain is this: the brain loves routines because that signals safety. Now, I want you to remember, you don't lose connections by resting. You strengthen connections by resting. Finally, empathy reminds you to be gentle with yourself when it's hard, because change is uncomfortable and sleep habits don't fix themselves overnight. Some nights you'll do everything right, perfect, and still struggle to sleep. That doesn't mean you failed. When this happens, I want you to tell yourself this: I am learning. This is a process. One night does not define me. Remember this: your nervous system needs compassion, the same way your body needs rest. So when you mess up, don't spiral into, here we go again, I'll never fix this. Instead, I want you to say, okay, what do I do right now? Because shame keeps you awake. Kindness, especially to yourself, helps you rest. Here is the most important reminder of all. You are growing, you are adjusting, you are becoming more aware. And that counts even on tired days, especially on tired days. Grace doesn't rush you. Grace meets you where you are, and grace stays with you while you learn. I am going to give you 5 small changes with big impacts that you could start tonight, that you could do tonight. 1, dim your light at least 30 minutes before bed. 2, avoid heavy drama or intense videos at night. 3, keep a consistent sleep schedule, even on weekends. 4, get sunlight in the morning to reset your body clock. And 5, put your phone on Do Not Disturb or sleep mode. These are tiny shifts that yield major results. Here's your call to action. I'll call this your Grace Sleep Challenge. 1 night Grace Sleep Reset. I want you to choose a screenshot of time. Replace scrolling with a calming activity. Say one affirmation before bed. Show yourself empathy, no matter how hard, no matter how it goes. And if this episode helped you, I want you to share with a friend who's always tired. I want you to leave a comment or review and grab the Grace Sleep Reset sheet in the show notes. Finally, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Because here's the thing, rest isn't a reward, it's a requirement, and you deserve it. Until next time, stay growing, stay graceful, and remember, you got this. And I'll see you soon. It's a wrap for today's episode of Gracefully Growing. Thank you so much for tuning in and growing with me. Remember, living with grace means showing gratitude, taking the time for reflection, speaking powerful affirmations, building strong connections, and practicing daily empathy with yourself and others. If today's episode gave you something to think about, inspired you, or made you smile, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. You can also download today's free resource in the show notes and join our Gracefully Growing community on social media for more tools, encouragement, and real talk. Until next time, keep showing up for yourself, keep growing, and most of all, keep living with grace. I am Dr. Kemi. See you next week.